Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to Computer Hobbyists. This is Volcano for the Commodore Pet. I've been playing around with the Vice emulator, which can be used to emulate different types of Commodore machines, and I'm using the Commodore Pet version right here. Essentially, this is a text-based game which is about the eruption of Mount St. Helens and your attempt to escape from it. It's kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure game, but as far as I can tell, it seems like for all the sets of choices you get, only one of them is the correct choice. Whereas in a choose your own adventure, you might get four choices, and two of them could eventually lead you to victory. In this, it seems like whenever you get choices, there's only one good one, and the rest are bad. So let's start it up. On May 18th, 1980, at 8:32 a.m., Mount St. Helens erupted with a force 500 times greater than that of the atomic bomb that fell on Hiroshima. The top 1,300 feet of the mountain was immediately pulverized and thrown 12 miles into the sky. Within moments, everything within 150 square miles was engulfed in the fury of the volcano. Thick black smoke accented with pink and purple lightning, flying bolters and chunks of ice blasted a swath of destruction 20 miles to the north. Hot ash, rocks, and gas roared down the mountain in pyroclastic flows at over 100 miles per hour. The 800-degree flows collided into Spirit Lake and became a torrent of superheated mud, carrying off 100-ton logging trucks, buildings, bridges, and anything else in its path. The mud flowed on into the Toutle, Cowlitz, and Columbia rivers, causing severe flooding. Drawn by the hope of seeing some volcanic activity, many people had come to the mountain that weekend, as many had every weekend since St. Helens began emitting puffs of steam back in March. Although there was signs and roadblocks warning everyone to stay away, they still came: tourists, campers, scientists, photographers, adventurers, and the just plain curious. But then no one expected that the mountain was waiting to explode like some kind of gigantic nuclear time bomb. About 70 of the visitors to the mountain that weekend did not leave alive. Exactly how many people perished will likely never be known. What is known is that Air Force and Army National Guard helicopters rescued 197 people, snatching them from around the boiling mountain. All right, the scenario, this program creates a scenario similar to those reported by some of the approximately 300 people who were camped around Mount St. Helens on the morning of May 18th, 1980. Your goal is simple: survive. The hazards are many. Type any key to continue. So now it's going over the different hazards like lava, ash, and pyroclastic flows, mud flows, gases, debris, and lightning. And then floods, earthquakes, and fires. So you're camped on the west side of Mount St. Helens. You hiked up from the end of a logging road where you left your car last night. You have a small fire going to make some coffee. There is an eerie quiet. There are no birds singing. Suddenly, you are shaken by an earthquake. The ground undulates around you. Tall fir trees sway. Then a giant roar, and the top of the mountain explodes thousands of feet into the air, suspended on a column of thick black smoke. The dense clouds expands and begins to move in your direction. And here it shows the explosion. What should you do? Use your camping shovel and dig in until it's safe to move. Take photographs. They should be worth plenty. Start back down the mountain to your car. Get to high ground or try to find some shelter. I will start back down the mountain and go back to my car. Now you're using your head. Get out of there fast. As you approach the hiking trail that leads down to the logging road, you find that many trees have fallen across the trail, making passage difficult. You think you remember a shortcut down the mountain that also leads to the end of the logging road. What should you do? Attempt to navigate the trail or take the shortcut? I'll attempt to navigate the trail. Under the circumstances, this is the better choice. At least you know that the trail eventually leads back to the road. You climb over huge fallen trees as you make your way back down the trail. When you arrive at your car, you find the road is blocked by several large rocks which rolled onto it during the earthquake. You know that the end of these roads is one of the first places that rescuers will look. On the other hand, there's a chance you could move those rocks just enough to get through. What should you do? Get in the car for protection and wait to be rescued. Forget the car and go down the road on foot. Build a fire to attract rescuers or try to move the rocks out of the way. I'll move the rocks out of the way. If there's a chance you can use your car to get away, take it. By using tree limbs as a lever and pushing other rocks out of the way with the car, you manage to get through. As soon as you're clear, you floor the accelerator. You're going 80 miles per hour down a dirt road. You're approaching a bridge that crosses the Toutle River when suddenly a mud flow hits. The bridge explodes before your eyes. You slam on the brakes and stop just short of the steaming chocolate ooze. You're way blocked. You get out of your car and begin running. After a while, you tire and slow down, but looking up, you start to run again. The ash cloud is coming. As the cloud descends, it is as if someone has thrown a black velvet curtain over your head. All light vanishes. You cannot see your hand in front of your face. It is hot, burning. You try to catch your breath, but your throat feels like it is stuffed with warm cotton. Your lungs burn and your eyes sting. You stumble and fall in the darkness. What should you do? Lie down with your face on the ground? Find some shelter? Rub the ash from your eyes? Or keep moving in the dark? I'm going to keep moving. This is the only real chance you have to stay where you are means certain death. You get up and begin walking with your hands out before you begin to feel the way. After a while, you notice that your feet feel wet. You think you are walking in a creek. What should you do? Get out of the water and keep moving? Wash out your eyes with the water or walk in the creek? I'm going to walk in the creek. Since you have no idea of which direction you're going, this offers the best alternative. You stoop down and feel the way the water is flowing and follow the current downhill. You travel down the creek for some time, then without warning, you plunge into hot water up to your neck. Instinctively, you reach out in the darkness and grab hold of something. It's a fallen tree. It pulls you along downstream. What should you do? Let go of the log and swim for the bank? Swim underwater or hang on? I'll hang on and see what happens. The log carries you along until it stops at a log jam. The end you are holding onto swings around and rests on a shallow area beside the bank. You scramble out of the water. Finally, you can see something. A dim glow in the distance. It looks like a searchlight. Then you realize that it's the sun shining through the ash clouds. As you go on, the ash gets thinner. Finally, the sun breaks through and you can see the sky again. Up ahead, you see a ridge. Below you is a plateau of indescribable devastation, a gray ash-covered moonscape. What should you do? You are bleeding a little from your head and arms. Tend to your wounds. Go up to the ridge, start down towards the plateau, or rest yourself. Let's try the ridge. Up on the ridge, you can be seen better from the air. Once on top, you get an even better appreciation for the awesome magnitude of the volcano. Everything below you is covered with thick and penetrable smoke. What should you do? Continue down the mountain or try to attract rescuers? I'll try to attract rescuers. Since you are in an area easily visible to rescue helicopters and everything below you is covered with toxic smoke, you wisely decide to build a signal that can be seen from the air. You arrange rocks so they spell out SOS and point a long arrow to a small fire. Finished, you fall to the ground, exhausted but fighting the urge to sleep. You must remain alert for the possibility of rescue. Against the rumbling of the volcano, you hear a new sound, also loud but choppy. It's a helicopter. You take off your shirt and wave it wildly. Ash falls off you in a small cloud as you jump up and down, yelling as loudly as you can. They see you as a plaster gray figure running around in circles. They lower a wicker rescue basket and you jump in. You've made it. You beat the mountain. Congratulations. This is the first time I won. I've played this like 4 times and I kept making the wrong choices, but it looks like I got it right this time. But as far as a archaic game from the 1980 that runs on an archaic computer, I think it's pretty good. I mean, it's short, but it's fun, and I played it 4 times before finally winning it, so it's got some replayability. So yeah, for an old antique game, I think it's pretty decent. Thanks for watching, and have a good evening.